Tonight on the big game, Daniel bluffs Scott Seaver.
I can't believe I got away with a bluff. Yay!
Now, I'm going to speculate. I could be wrong, but I think that was good for the game.
I lost to a lot of bluffs.
Let's hope he's steamed up now and the game gets good. Yeah, I'm going to get a penalty.
Then young pro Aaron Jones piled on.
You looked a little tilted.
And the biggest pot of the session came when Hashem's 10s ran into Kid Poker's aces.
Twice is good.
Yeah, twice is good.
Hashem took the first one.
You know, I don't want to win the second one. It's not fair if I beat you this hand, seriously. Ooh!
I mean, that's
a
decent-sized sweat as well.
I got aces. I'm so happy to not go broke. Come on. Daniel losing both of those is good for the game.
With so much talent here, how will this war of attrition end? Find out tonight on the big game.
This is the PokerStars.net Big Game.
It is time to wrap up another exciting week here on the big game from Las Vegas. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. Tonight there's over $1.2 million in cash on the table as some of the world's best do battle in our state-of-the-art poker room.
Phil Galfond is up a whopping $1,700, which is 0.0034% of his $500,000 buy-in. Grind it.
Aussie pro Joe Hashem's the only player who's losing so far. He's stuck only $5,100.
This is Scott Seaver. He is good at poker. His sweater and his alma mater are brown. He's up over $24,000.
The godfather of poker, Doyle Brunson, can afford a few more 10-gallon hats with the $45,000 profit he's turned so far.
23-year-old poker pro/teacher Aaron Jones replaced the loose cannon and merged seamlessly with the table. He's up over $25K.
And our sixth and final player is Daniel Negreanu. In this, his seventh big game appearance, he's up over $8,000, and he's standing by with Amanda Leatherman.
Daniel, this week we've had really high-level poker, haven't we?
No, I mean, for the poker purists out there who really want to see the best of the best play against each other, this is exactly what they want to see, I think. You got no loose cannon, there's no amateur, all these guys are professional, and it's been tough, but I love it, it's fun.
You gonna change your game plan at all?
A little bit, you know, you can't get away with as much junk as I normally do, so I'm trying to play my A game here and do everything I got to do to mess with their heads.
And hopefully pick up aces again.
Well, I don't know, man, they're scary. I get aces, I'm just like, ugh!
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Once again, here are the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit, then no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. Every player begins with at least $100,000, but can reload for up to $500,000. Scott Seaver starts the night straddling, so action begins on Joe Hashem.
Daniel and Joe Hashem got it all in last night. Daniel's aces to Joe's 10s. They ran it twice. Joe won the first one. And after a heck of a sweat, Daniel won the second one.
Joe raises to get it going. Daniel with King 8, also suited. Calls.
Loosey-goosey.
Galfond on the button, folds.
I'm really embarrassed about that.
I know, you look like you had to play, and then you decided
Really
not to.
embarrassed.
10-7 suited for Jones. Calls.
Also a bit loose, especially out of position, but he was getting better immediate odds with Daniel's call.
Doyle with ace-6. Folds. The straddler. Out as well.
Even with all that money in there, Scott doesn't want to play 8-6 out of position.
So 3 to the flop. First hand of the night. 5-10-6, all clubs. Negreanu flops a flush. Jones and Hashem top pair.
This is a great spot for Daniel. Let's see if he can extract max value.
Jones first to act. Bets 8,500.
Jones donks it, either hoping no one has a club or certainly to make someone pay to see the next one. Hashem's got Jones out kicked, but he's still got Daniel to act behind.
Hashem folds.
Surprising to see someone fold top pair to one bet. This is a wet board, so if Daniel just calls, he can rep a lot of draws. Daniel's trying to figure out if Jones donk bet because he's weak or because he's strong and he can maybe stand a raise.
Daniel raises to 26.5 grand.
I'm not sure one pair with a bad kicker can stand that size raise.
Jones folds.
You don't show like the deuce of diamonds here?
No, I didn't have a diamond.
Aaron Jones had 2 diamonds and lost a sizable amount there as Daniel took down a pot of over 46 grand. And in case you're new to the poker world, here's a look at the artiste currently known as Kid Poker.
He's a longtime force on the tournament circuit. He's got 4 bracelets, starred in commercials for Diet Pepsi, and appeared in movies like X-Men Origins Wolverine, and my own personal fave, Katy Perry's video, Waking Up in Vegas. Yeah, I knew Daniel had made it in the mainstream when I saw him get accosted by TMZ at the airport.
Right now, his world's pretty good, up nearly 25 grand as action starts on hand 121. Daniel folds. Galfond, 10-7 suited. Raises to 1,400. Jones folds. King-6 suited for Doyle. Calls.
Oh, I was hoping you had a flush.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a flush.
'Cause that would have been good for me.
Yeah.
Right? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Unless you had the ace-high flush.
Right.
Because, see, I had the king-high flush. That would have been bad for me because I would have lost all of it.
Right.
I wasn't folding it no matter what you did.
I wasn't going to try to get you to fold
You
it.
could have showed me the ace of clubs. I'm still going all in.
What if he shows you
I'm not
2
scared.
clubs with one of them?
Actually, if you show me the ace, I'll wait and see if another club comes first.
Doyle flopped a flush draw. Action on Galfond, who bets 2,400.
This is just a continuation bet. Doyle's got a very strong draw.
Doyle raises to 8,000.
It's a semi-bluff raise. This is where Doyle's image helps him. Most players would make this play on a semi-bluff, but Doyle's doing it, so a semi-bluff is near the bottom of his range with what he'd do this with.
Doyle takes it down while Daniel's still tilting from sweating a chop with pocket aces last night.
And it was like, I never had a fighting chance. It was
Hey,
like
like
10.
you
And then
never-
it's just like, oh, please don't be it.
Yeah.
Please don't hit me. Oh, nothing good ever happened in
I
there.
know, it's so sick.
8-9 jack. That makes me more angry than anything. That the card gods made me sweat 9 outs when you had 1.
I still think that is better because you end on an emotional
No,
upswing.
I didn't, though. I was angry anyway.
No, I think I agree. I think
I was angry anyway. I would have minded just an ace. Fine, be done.
Too stress-inducing.
I don't need the stress.
You don't feel the relief
Yeah.
because you still only got half.
I didn't win anything. It wasn't like, yes.
Exactly. That's why you're just.
If I won the first
you're
one,
left one.
8-9 jack, haha, we can laugh. Hee hee ho ho.
Like
hey.
I was, yeah?
Yeah, put a 10, a queen, a 7. Ha ha ho ho. Hee, ha ha ha.
Jones calls Galfond's raise.
Nothing about that was
I
funny
think that
for me.
was
Doyle calls.
that was
No.
not right. There was
Not right.
besides the first 10, there was nothing else right about that whole hand.
Daniel calls with 3 high.
That call was looser than the hiring policy at your local Kinko's.
Yeah.
The flop, Trey 4-9, 2 spades. Daniel checks bottom pair.
Phil Galfond has got nothing but a bagel right now, but he was the original raiser.
Bets 3,900.
Ace Queen High will sometimes be the best hand in this spot.
Jones folds. Doyle still best. But he folds.
Doyle just gave a ton of credit to Phil's under the gun raise. It's the same rep that just won him the last hand. Looks like Daniel's not going to give it nearly that much credit. Contemplating a call with bottom pair.
Daniel does call.
Daniel feels like that 3 may be good.
7 of hearts on the turn. Galfond now has a gut shot straight draw. Daniel checks.
Let's see if Phil Galfond wants to keep that lead.
He slows down. The river, 6 of spades.
All kinds of draws just came in. Daniel might be thinking about bluffing this pot, even though we know he doesn't have to. Though betting it may be the only way to make sure Galfond doesn't.
Daniel fires 5,600.
Daniel's made a pretty small bet. Galfond's got jack. high, so I don't see him calling, but if Phil had any piece of this board, he probably would.
He folds.
You can show the deuce. Yeah, I was going to say you can show the deuce.
The deuce had to be something, obviously, right? It's like, what deuce could I have that didn't hit that?
Daniel's mood has improved.